Hello students, I am Sanjay Sarkar, your sport teacher. Today we are going to start the chapter 8, which is the fundamentals of anatomy, physiology and the kinesiology in sports. In this chapter we will know the definition and the importance of anatomy, physiology and the kinesiology. Second is the functions of skeletal system, classification of bones and the type of joints. Third is the properties and the functions of the muscles. Fourth is function and structure of respiratory system and the circulatory system. And fifth is the equilibrium, dynamic, static, and the center of gravity and its application in sports. Okay. So in this video, we will complete point number 1 and 2, means the definition and importance of anatomy, physiology and kinesiology, and second is the functions of a skeletal system, classification of bones and the type of joint. Okay, so let's start. First is the definition and importance of anatomy, physiology and the kinesiology. Okay, anatomy is the structure of living organism. Okay, it is derived from the two Greek words, that is ana for the of and the tomia for the cutting. The literal translation would be cutting off, implying that the focus of anatomy is not just the body that we see outside, but the internal placement and the arrangement of organs like tissues, bones, muscles, and other organs. Okay, so the anatomy is derived from two words. One is ana and another is tomia. Okay, the meaning of the anatomy is cutting up. Okay, cutting up means the literal meaning is cutting up of the our body. Okay, what are the parts is there, means organ is there inside our body. So without cutting we cannot see that organs or the structure of our inner body. So here the anatomy is anatomy discuss about the inner organ of our body. Okay, next is the physiology. Physiology, on the other hand, it is the study of how living system functions. It is etymology is Latin, the physiologia for the study of nature, while the anatomy studies the physical aspects of body components. Physiology unravels the functions of those components and their interrelationship. Means the physiology, the main topic of the physiology is the study of the functions of organs, like our inner organs. Okay, inner parts of our body, how they work. Okay, this is the main motto, main aim of the physiology. Okay, it describes the functions, working functions of our inner body. Okay, inner body and the organs, tissues, muscles. Okay, these things are there. Kinesiology is the study of the movement. Okay, like our body movement is there, what kind of movement is there, that thing the kinesiology is discussed. Okay, the word is a combination of the Greek word for movement, kindness and the study. Okay, movement, kindness and the study, that is the logos. Okay, it is the multifaceted subject which covers an array of the subdisciplines such as the psychology of the physical activity, biomechanics, exercise, etc. Okay, so whatever the movement of our body is in our body is there, like we are raising our hand, we are moving, we are running. Okay, we are jogging, and what the mechanism is there, means what the working function is there, that is the topic of the kinesiology. Okay, one definition is there, the American Kinesiology Association has given Kinesiology is the academic discipline of which it involves the study of the physical activity and its impact of health, society, and the quality of life. Means the whatever the movement or discipline is there, okay, and the impact of on health, like whatever work we are doing, okay, is there any physical exercise, physical movement is there, okay, without any movement we can't do anything, like jogging exercise, okay. And after doing the exercise, what is the impact of the work in our body, okay. And the what are the result of our behavior, okay, our placement in our society, that thing it is included in the kinesiology, okay. Means whatever work we are doing and their impact on our health, that is called the kinesiology, okay. Importance of anatomy and physiology, okay. Some importance is there, like the knowledge of our body. Through the anatomy we can know our body, okay. Suppose we are watching our outer portion of our body, means we are having the knowledge of outer body, like the two hands, two legs, okay, two eyes, nose, everything is there. But we don't, if we are not having the vast knowledge about the anatomy, then we cannot know what are the inner portion, inner organs is there. So anatomy and physiology gives the vast knowledge about the body. And selection of sports, okay. According to our body structure, our body capability, okay, and efficiency, okay, we can select our sports, like their body type is there, endomorph, ectomorph, and mesomorph is there. So according to our body structure, we have to choose our sports, otherwise the performance will decrease, okay. So through the physiology and anatomy we can know our body, okay. And after that we can select our sports, which sports will be effective for that particular person, okay. The next is the prevention of the sports injury. If we know about the human structure, human functions of our organ, body function is knowledge about the body function, okay, then we can prevent the sports injury. Like when I'm running, okay, and at the time some principles and law is there, okay. If we having the knowledge about that laws, then we will always obey that thing, otherwise it will be against the law, okay. That's why we have to obey this, we have to know about this, otherwise it will cause the injury, okay. Next is the rehabilitation and first aid, okay. And for our human body, okay, if there is any injuries, then anatomy and physiology also give the knowledge about the rehabilitation and the first aid. What kind of first aid is there, okay. If the some fracture or some cut is there, so what kind of treatment we should give, okay. We should take care, that thing we can know through the anatomy and the physiology, okay. Next is understanding the difference between the male and female. And through the anatomy and physiology we can identify the body, whether he or she is male or female, okay. Some anatomical structure is there, like some body structure or the body type is there. So like in male body, there is a another structure, okay. And the female body, there is another structure, means the body functions, okay, body functions and the appearance, that should be different, okay. Through the anatomy and physiology we can know about the body, and we can understand the difference of the female and the male body. Okay. And correct sports therapy, and there are many kind of therapy, like the ice therapy, water therapy, okay, like the infra therapy. This kind of therapy is there, and some measures is there. So through the anatomy and the physiology, if we don't having the knowledge about the anatomy, means our body structure, okay, and our body functions, then we will not able to give the correct therapy or measures. So we have, at first we have to know our body, and after that we can gain some knowledge about the therapy and measures, then we can apply. Okay. Next is the functions of the skeletal system, classification of bones and type of the joints. Okay, first, functions of the skeletal system. Okay, first is locomotion, support, protection, calcium storage, acting as lever, the endocrine regulation. Locomotion means there is any joint, okay, like knee joint is there, and if we analyze that joint, if we can able to see the inner working function of the knee joint, there we can find some thread is there, like some muscles or tissue is there. So some cartilage is there, and they tied with each other. Okay, and through the this kind of the bonding, they are working very smoothly. So this thing we can include in the locomotion. Okay, the skeleton is the closely associated with the skeletal muscles, with the attached by them by tendons. Okay, tendons and ligaments. So these kinds of ligament and tendons is attached with each other. So this is called the locomotion, means the functions, smoothly function is there. Okay, that is the locomotion. Second is the support. Okay, skeletal system means the skeletal portion inside the muscles. There is a bone structure, like the cage. Okay, we can say the structure, the hardest structure of our body, that is called the skeletal system. So this skeletal system is giving a support to our body, otherwise we will fall down. Okay, so skeletal system is giving a huge support to our body, like the pelvic. Okay, the pelvic and the skull, it support skull support to our brain. Okay, and the pelvic is supporting to our reproductive system, and the bone of the leg, they are supporting us for the standing. Okay. Third is the protection. Protection means the other force which is coming through the outside, and that thing also protect the skeletal system. Suppose rib cage is there in our body. Okay, and they are protecting our lungs. Okay, lungs, heart, liver, that thing. If there is no protection, means there is no rib cage, then our liver and the stomach, then the lungs can maybe damaged by the other force. Okay, other action. Okay, next is the calcium storage, and in our body, the teeth and the bones. Okay, they are the storage of our calcium. Okay, and we can include it through our skeletal system. Acting as a lever, bones and the skeletal system is working as a lever. Suppose if we are throwing a ball, we are throwing a javelin. Okay, and these bones is working as a lever. Lever means a what is the what we called the lever. Lever is a rigid bar, okay, like a stick, like a rod, okay, and it can move freely with a single point, okay. So in as comparison to lever, our hand or leg is there. So there is a one axial and the plane axial and plane is there. Suppose I am throwing a cricket ball, okay, tennis ball. Then we have to throw the forward, okay, and we have to apply the force. So the joint of the shoulder, it will our axial point, okay, and through the point one rigid bar means our hand, there the bone is there, hand is working as a bar, means as a rod, as a stick. So we can say this is the lever, okay, which is working, which is acting with a single point, that is called the shoulder joint, okay. Ball and socket joint is there. So skeletal system is working as a lever, okay, and lever we can do a very we can lift the very weight with the applying in some less effort, okay. And next is the endocrine regulation, okay. And through the bones and skeletal system, there is a very storage of the calcium and the some hormones is there, which is regulated by the skeletal system, okay. So these things are the functions of the skeletal system. Next is the classification of bones. We can divide the long bones, short bones, flat bones, okay, and sesamoid bones is there. So, and the irregular bones, okay. Long bones found mainly the upper and lower limbs. They act as a lever and execute the movement, okay. Long bones we can found in upper portion and the lower portion of our limbs, like hand or leg. There are the long bones. And short bone found in the wrist and the ankle, okay. Wrist and ankle is the place of the short bone. Here we can found many short bone is there. And the flat bone, these are the protective bones which they resemble the swallow plates, example ribs and the sternum and the scapula, okay. So ribs, that is the flat bone, and in skull, that is the flat bone, and the sternum and scapula is there, okay. This is the flat bone. And the sesamoid bones, small and the independent bones like the noodles attached to the tendons and the joint capsules, example the patella and fibula. In our knee joint, there are two bones is there. So in the joint we can find some tendon like the noodles, okay. And this is also a one kind of the bones, that is called the sesamoid bones, okay. And next is the irregular bones. Irregular bones such as vertebra, hip bones, and the bone of skull do not have well-defined shape, and thus the referred as the irregular bones. Okay, irregular bones is gradually found in the hip joint, okay, and hip bones and in the bone of the skull. They are this kind of bones are not the well shaped, okay, and their shape is different to different in person wise, okay. That's why it is called the irregular bones, means that it is not the same size as same kind of bones, okay. If we see the hip joint, there are many bones, many short bone and the flat bone is there, but their shape is different. That's why we can call it the irregular bones. Next is the type of joints. Here the three type of joint is there. First is the immovable joint, and second is the slightly movable joint, and thirdly is the freely movable joint. Okay, so one by one we will discuss. Okay, first is immovable joint, which is found in the skull. This is there is a joint, but their function is not working as smoothly, means there is no movement. Okay, that's why it is called the immovable joint. This is one kind of joint, but there is no movement. Okay, next is the slightly movable joint. This is the this kind of joint we can found in the rib cage. Okay, that is called the sternum. Okay, and this is the ribs. Okay, through the with the sternum and the ribs there is a joint, but it is the slightly movable. Means when we are taking the breath inside, that's why our torso is inflated. Okay, and when we exhale our breath, that time rib cage is uh, also means uh, what, what can we say, means there is a change. Okay, means change in shape. That is called the slightly movable. Means this kind of joint, this is slightly movable. Okay, means there's some movement is there. Third is the freely movable joint. This kind of moving joint, it is always means movable. They can work very freely. But this type of joint is the here. This is the gliding joint. This kind of joint, it can move the forward and backward direction in the knee joint. This is also included in the freely movable joint. That is called the first is the gliding joint. Gliding joint is found in the knee joint. Okay, knee joint, and the two part of the bones, like this is the one part and this is the another part, and some gliding is there, means they are gliding with each other like this. Okay, this kind of joint we can call the gliding joint. Second is hinge joint. Hinge joint we can find in elbow joint. Okay, uh, it is the one direction, means forward and backward. No, only forward direction. Okay, this is the our arm. Okay, elbow joint is there. So we can move our hand with this direction, only this direction. Okay, but we can't move. We will unable to do bend our hand this side. Okay, so it will work only in forward direction. This is called the hinge joint. And the another example of a hinge joint is the door. Okay, like our door is there, so the direction of open and closing, it will be the one direction, means forward, only forward and backward, means in a single point there will be stoppage. Okay, we can bend our hand in this side. This is the hinge joint. Okay, and third is the condyloid joint. Condyloid joint we can found in the finger joint. This kind of joint, it is called the condyloid joint. Means any direction we can move our finger like this, some backward, some forward, sideward, little bit. Okay, so this kind of joint, it is called the condyloid joint. Okay, next is the saddle joint. Saddle joint, it found in our wrist. Okay, this is the there are very many short bone is there. So their function is like this, means it will be work in the forward and backward, and this portion, this bone will work at the sideward. Okay, means one bone it will work in forward and backward, and other bone that will work in forward and backward direction. Okay, this is working this side and backward side, and this bone is working like this side. So this is the kind of the saddle joint. It is found in wrist joint. Okay. Next is the ball and socket joint. It is found in the shoulder joint. This is a shape of ball, and this is called the socket. So both the ball and socket is found in our shoulder joint. So this kind of movement, this kind of joint, it can move the freely in any direction, like some forward, backward, upward. Okay, rotation is there. So this is the called the ball and socket joint. Next is the pivot joint. It is found only in our shoulder, means neck, where the skull and the neck joint is there. In this portion we can found the pivot joint. Okay, and it is like some axial joint. Means suppose this is our the spinal cord, and this is our skull. So it can move in this direction. Okay, and any direction we can move our head, like some backward, some forward, sideward. Okay, this type of joint, it is called the pivot joint, and it is found in the uh, neck joint. So for today, this is the part of the video, and we will make the another video for the rest of the topic. Okay, so thank you.